Hi, my name is Lyric, and today we're going to be reacting to I added a 4-point line to the NBA, and this is what happened by the man, the myth, the legend, Jxmyhighroller. Go check out the original video, second link in the description. Let's get into it. Let's see what would happen if the NBA had a 4-point line. My prediction, guys who can shoot like Steph Curry and Damian Lillard would be even more valuable to the team.
What if the NBA had a 4-point line? The idea of a 4-point line has bounced around the league for years, but has remained
I think it's a terrible idea.
But what if these ill-advised
I think it's fine how it is.
that pose no real advantage actually did? How would a 4-pointer change the game? The way offenses are set up, who would take them, and who would be the best at them? Well, there's really only one way to find out. So I added one.
Oh shit, here we go, boys. Charts, baby. You know it's a Jxmyhighroller video, bro. We got the charts.
Today's video is sponsored by DraftKings.
We're watching your video, so
It's been 6 months.
we'll
No
allow
Sunday
you
night
to
matchups. No afternoons of watching your team
we'll
score
let his ad play
butcher
through.
another
Go
third
use
goal.
Jxmyhiroller's code, obviously,
No
guys.
football. But we're back, baby. Football season is upon us, and DraftKings, an official partner of the NFL, is here to get you in on the action. New customers download the DraftKings app, use promo code Jxmyhighroller, bet just $5 on any wager, and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's right, earn $200 in bonus bets for simply placing a $5 wager. And you can stay in on the action with DraftKings same-game parlays by combining multiple bets from the same game for a shot at an even bigger payout. And if sports betting is not yet available in your state, you can still win big with DraftKings Daily Fantasy. Kick your season off with an automatic dub. Download DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers
Promo code Jxmyhighroller, guys.
Bet just $5 on any wager and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code Jxmyhighroller only at DraftKings Sportsbook.
Good stability out there. With Trey taking a long
4.
from the Laker logo.
You see that? Not the 3. What Trae Young did after the 3. Not the most conventional celebration, pointing at the spot on the court where he hit a 30-foot bomb. But he's not pointing to just any random spot. He's pointing at the 4-point line. Now, you or I can't see the 4-point
Okay.
because it's not on this court. But Trae can see it because it's on his court. Years ago, within the Atlanta Hawks practice facility, the organization implemented a 4-point line, 29 feet out from the basket, a little over 5 feet further than the NBA 3-point line. Trae Young can hit these shots because he practices these shots. And
Okay, I feel like the 4-point line, if they ever do add a 4-point line, it should be even further than this, right? Because, okay, so this is 2, all 2, and then this is 3. I feel like a 4-point shot should be, if anything, even further out. Like a 4-pointer should be like a damn near logo half-court shot, in my opinion. I don't know.
hit these shots because he practices these shots. And the Hawks aren't the only team that have incorporated a 4-point line into their practices. The Bucks have a 4-point shot in their practice facility, as do the 76ers, the Rockets, and many other teams. Here's Milwaukee's practice court with squares indicating 4-pointers. And here's that exact concept playing out in real time. With the NBA seeing an explosion of 3-pointers over the last decade, I'm not sure if adding a 4-point line would be good for the game. And we may not see a 4-point line
it'd be more chucking shots.
soon,
Even more.
But we have seen it in other places. The Big Three League, which features mostly former NBA players and overseas pros.
That'd be interesting, though. I'd like to see it for like one season, test it out.
But we do have a 4-point spot called the Fireball 3, a spot 30 feet away from the rim where shots are worth 4 points. So far this season, the league average from the 4-point shot is 15%. Similar to the Big Three League,
That's low-key a good idea, actually. That's actually a fire idea. Because imagine like you're down 4 and you hit a game winner. A defender just trying desperately to keep you off of that one spot. And then someone just hits a miraculous shot from that. That'd be so hype. And it'd make it not as broken. Because it's just one spot. I mean, like a few spots, but like, you know.
30 feet away from.
It's not like an entire line, you know. They just gotta try to keep you off those spots. And for it to be worth 1 point, I'm actually a fan of that idea. I feel like that's a better version of having a 4-pointer. I feel like they should add, I feel like they should test that. That actually seems like a cool idea.
Rim, where shots are worth 4 points. So far this season, the league average from the 4-point shot is 15%. Similar to the Big 3 League, the WNBA has included a similar 4-point spot for the last 2 All-Star games. Same conditions as the Big 3 League, but this spot is 28 feet from the basket. In the
I feel like it's a good idea.
WNBA All-Star game, out of the total 45 4-pointers attempted, players connected.
Like, obviously, that looks like a terrible percentage, right? Like 27%, right? That seems terrible. But when you really think about it, it's from 4. So let's think about this. So to get 25% from 4 would be like same as 33% from 3. To get a 1 point per shot, you have to shoot 25% from 4 to be the equivalent of 33% from 3 or 50% from 2, right? Makes sense? So, I mean, that's above 33%. So that's not that bad, actually. For the average, that's actually,
on 12 of them, giving them a 4-point
and it's an All-Star game too,
and
it's the WNBA. But like,
in the American Basketball Association, any shot past half court is a 4-point shot. So this
that also is a good idea. I think that also makes sense.
shot is doable, and it's been incorporated into games to some capacity before.
I think both of the latter ideas are both better ideas than just having a different line. Because I feel like having a different line, it just make more chucking things. But I feel like the other two ideas, is having particular spots and having just half-court shots, be the 4-pointer. I think those are both more interesting ideas.
4. But what if the NBA added a 4-point shot? How far out would it be? How would it change the game we know? And who would be the best 4-point shooters on the planet? In
Curry.
2020, an article published by the Northeastern Sports Analytics Group went into detail about the possibility of a 4-point line, how the shot would change the anatomy of the game, and exactly what it would look like. Within their data, researchers found that in order for the shot to make sense, the distance would have to be just right. The number they came up with? 30 feet. Any closer, and the shot would be too easy. Any further, and the shot wouldn't be worth taking. We've talked about this concept before, how efficient any given shot.
No, I feel like it should be further, though, because, okay, yeah, the shot wouldn't be worth taking, but you gotta remember, like, evolution of the game, right? 3-pointers weren't worth taking back in the 80s because people weren't that good at 3-point for shooters. But if you make it where it means more if you shoot a shot from, farther out, like damn near half court. People are gonna be attempting those damn shots all the time, right? So they're eventually going to become better and better 4-point shooters until it actually becomes, for some players, a really valuable shot. So that's my opinion on that.
To the way teams set up their offense, otherwise known as points per shot. In 2023, the expected shot value for every 2-pointer was 1.096 points. The expected shot value for every 3-pointer was 1.083 points, essentially making both shots about equally as efficient on average. Now,
Makes
since
sense.
1996, the NBA has been keeping track of shot data, where shots were taken and the success rates of those shots. And with this data, we can figure out the expected shot value not only by category, but by distance. For example, if the 4-point line were, let's say, 24 feet out, we can sort through every shot taken from 24 feet, find
That's
the
actually crazy.
average for that shot distance, and then just divide 4 points by that number. The league average field goal percentage from 24 feet out is about 35%, which means if the 4-point line was set at 24 feet, the expected shot value would be 1.44 points.
Yeah, it'd be
more
by
than
far the
both
most efficient
3-pointers
shot
and
right there.
2-pointers. So
Obviously.
we gotta move it back further. At
Well, yeah,
25
it barely
feet,
goes out
the
there.
expected shot value would be 1.39 points, which is still far too efficient. Keep moving this theoretical line back, and to match the efficiency of 2s and 3s, the 4-point line would have to fall somewhere between 28 and 29 feet away from the basket. But we don't want the league to turn into a 4-point shootout. We need the shot to present enough risk for players to shoot it only on occasion. So if we move the 4-point line back to 30 feet, the expected shot value plummets all the way down to 0.693 points, making it just feasible enough to make sense, but not too much to be exploited, giving us a
I guess that does make
distance
sense.
of 30 feet.
I'm not mad at the
for
30
new
feet number, not
4-point
mad at it.
shot.
It
So
makes
if
sense.
the NBA decided to implement this 30-foot 4-pointer, who would be the best 4-point shooters in the league? Well, the answer may not be what you think. Now, this is
Not
what
gonna
a
be Curry?
30-foot shot looks like. And for the sake of this experiment, from here on out, these shots are now 4-pointers. A distance that
Yeah.
is
Okay. Looking at the distance. Okay, that seems like a. Yeah, it seems like a good distance. Because you gotta remember, the more because you go far, when the farther out you get, every like, foot becomes like more exponentially harder. You know.
far
So
beyond any valuable shot when they're only worth 3 points. But despite this,
especially because there's no corners
the NBA
in
record
that
for the
4-point shot
most
there.
theoretical 4-pointers made in a game is a 4-way tie between D'Angelo Russell, Stephen Curry, Damian Lillard, and Trae Young, who each
Five
made
fours.
4-pointers in a single game. 5 shots made in a single game. from
D'Lo
at
versus the
least
Mavericks
30
this
feet
year?
out. But
Damn.
easily the most absurd display of long
Wait, how did bro do it in December 28th, 2023? That's not even that date yet. What? I think he meant 2022. The 2023 season is what he meant.
bombs in NBA history came from Damian Lillard back in 2020 when he attempted 10 4-pointers in a single game.
Goddamn.
In total, Dame shot 15 threes, 10 of which were beyond 30 feet out. A feat that would have most
Those are really
players in
interesting
trade
stats.
packages the very next day. Ever since the NBA began keeping track of play-by-play data, there have been 51 games where a player has made at least 3 4-pointers. Out of those 51 games, 36 of them came from either Stephen Curry, Damian Lillard, or Trae Young.
Makes
And
sense.
even
It
in a
really
league
makes
with the
sense.
best
Those are the
shooters
three
on
I
the planet,
expect.
These 3 are among the handful of players that should even be shooting these shots in the first place. But
Right.
how much
Have any
would a
business doing it.
4-point line really change the game? Well, it would be impossible to know the ripple effect of such a monumental change.
Whew, look at that.
But after painstakingly tracking the shot data and results of each and every game last season, I found that there
Literally
were
every game?
2
Holy
games
fuck.
out of the total 1,314 games played where a 4-point line would have altered the results of the game.
Only
That's
2?
instances where if the shots made beyond
What?
30 feet were counted as 4-pointers instead of 3-pointers, it would have swung the point total enough to turn the loss into a win, and vice versa. That's 2 games in an entire season. In
It's actually
fact,
crazy.
Since 1996, there have been 20 instances where the outcome of a game would have been altered as a direct result of a 4-pointer. Games where a 3-pointer was made to tie the game and send it into overtime. But if the shot was a 4-pointer, it would have outright won the game. So with
Nice.
everything else remaining the same, it's clear that giving an extra point for these bombs wouldn't actually change a whole lot. At least not for those who don't take them.
But people would attempt
But
them
what
more.
about the players who do? Last season alone, across the NBA, there were
Whoa, look at- oh, this is a really cool chart right
2,192
here.
shots taken from at least 30 feet out, which sounds like a lot, but it only made up about 2.6% of all shots taken beyond the 3-point line last season. And of all
Once again, though, you gotta remember, if there's an actual 4-point line here, people will start attempting more. Because there's no real incentive to shoot from this far right now. For most players. But if there actually was a 4-point line, it'd be a lot more incentive. So this number would go way up.
these now 4-pointers, the league-wide average field goal percentage was just 17.3%. This is a difficult shot. Luka Doncic shot 34 shots from at least 30 feet out last season. He made just 5 of them. Anthony Edwards shot 13, and he made just 1, which would give him a 4-point field goal percentage of 7%. But not all players are abysmal from this distance. Last season, Jordan Poole shot 72 4-pointers and knocked down 32% of them, which
That's
makes
actually crazy.
him as deadly from 4-point range as John Morant, De'Aaron Fox, and DeMar DeRozan are from 3-point range.
I swear he only shot like 34% from 3, too. So,
If that doesn't rattle your brain, Darius Garland attempted 27 4-pointers last season and knocked down 11 of them, giving him an absurd 4-point shooting percentage of 41%.
That's fucking insane.
Which is exactly the same as his 3-point percentage. But these numbers are from just
That's
last
insane.
season. If we take a look
And that's a really good
shooting
3-point
data
percentage,
dating
too.
back to 1996, here's a chart of the players who shot the most 4-pointers throughout the last 27 seasons.
Kobe?
And very quickly, you can see just how uncommon shots from this 4-point distance are. Devin Booker is 42nd all-time in shots attempted from at least 30 feet, and he's only taken 109 in his entire career. Carmelo Anthony was a brick from this range. There's Darius Garland. He's a wizard from
Makes
30
sense.
feet out. Keep
LeBron.
the chart, and one thing that jumps out is that being a good three-point shooter doesn't necessarily make a player a good four-point shooter. Ray Allen shot 156% pointers throughout his career and only hit 5.7% of them. Whereas
LeBron at 22% is actually pretty damn crazy.
Underwhelming three-point shooter shoots four-pointers well above league average. And as we approach the top of this list, the total shot attempts from this range begin to increase almost exponentially. LeBron has attempted 304 four-pointers in his 20-year career. Trae Young has attempted 536
in just 5 years.
In just 5 seasons. But
nuts.
Keep going, and you'll find 2 familiar faces topping the all-time
Lillard and Curry, maybe.
leaderboard.
Yeah.
Damian Lillard and
Yeah, that's actually crazy that Curry only has one more.
Curry have
And Lillard at a better percentage. Wow. That's actually crazy. So Lillard would have been the... So Lillard is the GOAT 4-point shooter, not Curry? That's actually crazy. Wow, okay.
shot the same amount of four-pointers throughout their careers, both of them on relatively excellent field goal percentage. But this is just the total amount of four-pointers players have attempted throughout their careers. What might be more revealing is the rate at which players shoot these long balls. And if we take a look at four-pointers attempted per season, there's one player throughout NBA history who is miles above everyone else.
Okay.
It isn't Steph or Dame. It isn't a historically great scorer like James Harden or Kobe Bryant. It isn't a prolific sharpshooter like Reggie Miller or Klay Thompson. If the four-point line
I'm very
existed,
curious.
the player who would undeniably be the greatest four-point shooter of all time is Trae Young.
Trae Young.
104.
That does make sense because he was third on the list. Not that far behind in just 5 seasons. That's actually crazy. So the greatest 4-point shooter of all time would not be Curry or Dame. Trae Young is the GOAT 4-point shooter. Wow.
Per season throughout his career.
It's a crazy ass stat.
A single player within Trae Young's galaxy. And the further we dive into the numbers, the more obvious this becomes. With a career shooting percentage of 33% on shots,
it's a good percentage.
30 feet out,
good percentage.
If the 4-point line existed, Trae Young would have an expected shot value of 1.33
way
points
more
off of 4-pointers, making it the single most valuable shot in basketball outside of uncontested layups. For perspective, in a league with a 4-point line, the best big men in the NBA have a lower points per shot value on contested layups than Trae Young does from 30 feet out, which would make a 30-plus
holy shit, bro.
Trae Young more efficient than a defended layup from the reigning MVP.
From Giannis or Jokic or Embiid.
And this gap in value,
that's actually one of the most insane stats. Because Trae Young isn't as valued because he's not one of the most efficient players. But if these really long shots being more valued than 3 points would literally make him like one of the most efficient players in the NBA. Because this would be the most efficient shot to ever take, a Trae Young 4-pointer. Goddamn. Combined with his playmaking, that would make him like a top 10 player in the NBA with this fucking 4-point line. Damn. That's really interesting.
Kevin Durant is a mid-range juggernaut. His points per shot on mid-range jumpers is 1.1 points. Back up to the 3-point line, and if you take the most accurate volume 3-point shooter in the league, Tyrese Maxey, his 3-pointers
really is Tyrese Maxey
less valuable than Trae Young's 30-foot 4-pointers. Stephen Curry is the undisputed king of the 3-ball. He's single-handedly revolutionized the game with his range. And yet, somehow, Trae Young has already made more career 4-pointers, or shots at least 30 feet out, than Stephen Curry has.
Holy
it's
fuck.
It's probably a good thing that this shot doesn't exist in the NBA.
Trae Young is the 4-point king.
Trae Young would be...
I honestly, the more I watch this video, the more I'm thinking it's a good idea because, I mean, I'm just thinking about it, man. I mean, it give guys that are like smaller, you know, even more of a chance, you know. It'd be more versatility of just like how, you know, do you want to shoot 3-pointers? Do you want to shoot 4-pointers? You know, and you know, it make guys who can shoot really long threes like, you know, Curry or Trae Young even more valuable to their teams. I think low key this is actually a good idea. I came to this idea thinking, oh, the 4-point line's a terrible idea, but it's making a lot of. I kind of like it.
Ever do it.
After this
Here's
video.
A visual of each sector on the floor by distance. And here are some of the most prolific scorers from each of those sectors, along with their career points per shot.
Jokic is insane.
From short range, you've got dominant and efficient bigs, players who control the paint. But these are some of the most highly contested shots in basketball. So take a step back to the mid-range, and you'll see, for the most part, efficiency actually remains consistent with players like Kawhi, Dirk, and CP3. Keep going back, and you'll find the long two-point snipers. Despite this being the least efficient shot in basketball, players like Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie Irving have kept this shot alive and well. Take it one step further, and that extra point from the three-point line makes three-pointers in the right hands one of the most lethal shots in the game. With Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, and
I'd really like to see them like put in a 4-point line just for like one season. You know how like in the 90s they like made the 3-point line shorter to see what would happen, you know, just for a few seasons. For like one season then yeah, I think they should add like a 4-point line just to see what would happen. If the results are good, keep it, you know. And if it's not fun to watch, then remove it. But I just think it'd be really fun to watch. Because as I said, it wouldn't affect that much. I mean, he said it would only change the outcome of 2 games. Obviously, it would change more because it would affect a lot more if you actually added it into the game. But still, I think it'd be interesting to add for one season. Just to see what would happen. And see if it's good to keep it or not.
1996, these are the shots you want, who you want taking them, and how much they're worth. And then there's Trae Young, who in a league where
the best shot in basketball, a Trae Young 4-pointer.
Possess the most valuable shot in basketball, despite taking it from the logo.
All right, so that is. I had the 4-point shot to the NBA, and this is what happened. Super interesting video. Comment below. Do you think a 4-point shot would be a good idea or a bad idea? And if you think it's what do you think would be the best way to implement it? You know, would it be the specific spots? Would it be the line? Watch it be beyond half court? What do you think would be a good idea? So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Go subscribe to my original NBA channel. First link in the description. Watch the original video. Second link in the description. And yeah, bye.